is extremely concerned that veterinarians do not have the evidence required to appropriately verify that such pet foods do what they are purported to do before recommending or prescribing them to their patients, as well as communicating and answering questions to pet owners, to other individuals involved in the pet industry regarding those reported claims. Obviously, pet retail employees have neither the training nor do they have the data to make an informed recommendation to their customers. And I think all of you, as well as I, certainly am well aware that irregardless of the training or the data available, these recommendations are made on a daily basis. The first question people ask is, what do you recommend I feed my pet? The AVMA recognizes the FDA's critical need to prioritize its regulatory activities, but it feels it is imperative that specific actions are taken to promote communication and transparency to the public regarding pet food with health claims. Specifically, we are recommending that pet food labels be modified to promote accurate information and label awareness for the pet-owning public. I think if you took a poll, the vast majority of veterinarians, and certainly the vast majority of the pet-owning public and those in the pet retail industry talking to the pet-owning public, would indicate that they think that those claims that are on many of these pet food products have been vigorously tested and go through many, if not all, of the same regulatory evaluation and certification processes that do FDA-approved drugs, specifically for human and veterinary use. And as we know, that's simply not the case. We talked about transparency this morning. The AVMA thinks it's imperative that as we look at issues related to pet foods, that transparency and health claims related to pets is something that is addressed as part of this overall program that we are looking at here today. Therefore, in the interest of pet safety, the AVMA recommends that the FDA require all pet food products with implied or explicit health or drug claims to include a prominent statement on the label indicating that such claims have not been evaluated and or have not been, certified by the FDA. Requiring such disclaimers on pet foods bears health claims would enhance transparency and accurate information to individual veterinarians and consumers, that there is a greater understanding of the relative absence of not necessarily oversight, but of regulation, but in enforcement relative to these claims. The AVMA is also concerned about obesity, which is an epidemic sweeping across the nation. Obesity is being observed at an alarming rate in pets. There's estimates of anywhere from 25 to 44% of dogs are clinically obese in our society today. There's other evidence of the increased risk of disease and premature death in cats relative to excessive body weight. So this has become a major safety factor that we see every day in clinical veterinary medicine. And the AVMA is committed to helping promote healthful lives for pets, and as many of you are probably aware of, we have engaged in a weight control and awareness program, a national program to reach the pet-owning public, to try to communicate many of these important points to them. However, pet owners do not always know how much to feed, and they may not realize the high number of calories associated with some of the pet foods they are giving to their pets. To control obesity, we need to raise this awareness with pet owners. This is why the AVMA recommends that calorie information be required on all dog in cat foods. In particular, such calorie statements should be expressed both as kilocalories of metabolizable energy per kilogram of food and as kilocalories of metabolizable energy per familiar household measure, such as a can or a cup. The former measurement allows direct comparison between the products, while the latter expresses calories in a familiar relative to familiar household items. Lastly, the AVMA would request that the FDA require that such labels expressly and clearly differentiate where the calorie content information was determined, either by chemical analysis and calculations or by animal feeding. One cannot tell how digestible a food is from a chemical analysis and calculation method, but the feeding method does yield these digestibility numbers. Therefore, the best means to compare the foods is to have a clear understanding of which method was used to calculate calories for each food. We feel these types of labeling would assist both pet owners as well as the veterinary community to communicate simply and clearly how much of a particular food product is necessary to meet their energy and nutritional requirements, and also how much to feed. Sadly, we have seen that obesity-related disease robs our beloved pets of longevity and quality of life. Therefore, the AVMA recommends that a common sense caloric information be included on pet food packaging so that animal owners can readily and easily feed their pets appropriate portions of their food. Our final point is in regards to the nation's pet food recall of 2007, which clearly was a pet food safety crisis. The AVMA asserts that it exemplified the need for federal agency coordination and utilization of the National Incident Management System. The NIMS is a nationwide comprehensive approach to incident management that is applicable across jurisdictions and functional disciplines. The NIMS can only work well if it is a comprehensive and if all federal agencies utilize it. We recognize the FDA's commitment to continue to strengthen its emergency preparedness measures. We applaud this, and we recommend specifically that the FDA utilize NIMS in order to fully coordinate its emergency preparedness activities. Comprehensive federal development and implementation of NIMS-based strategies with the assistance of stakeholder expertise would address the needs for coordinated emergency response and for the effective communication to support the resolution of food and safety feed events. As the global marketplace becomes more interconnected, federal agencies and its partners must continue to enhance the coordination of their preparedness and response activities. This is paramount for the United States food supply to remain among the safest in the world. The AVMA appreciates the opportunity to provide its recommendations on these pertinent animal health and safety issues. We look forward to continued dialogue with the FDA and other stakeholders as it further strengthens our nation's food standards. Thank you very much.